So we're going to go over the first one. That's quarterbacks. So you can see the 4 quarterbacks here. Of course, Derek Carr, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Russell Wilson, newly arrived from Seattle here. So I'm going to put the Broncos and Russell Wilson at 4 right now. Wilson did not have a great season. I know people are saying, oh, well, his offensive line. We'll get to the offensive line of the Broncos in a minute. I'll talk about that. But I am not completely sold on it. I think the Broncos spent way too much draft capital with him. I talked about that before. And he had a little bit of a down season. And, you know, it's not like he didn't have anybody to throw to. You had Metcalf. He had Tyler Lockett. And, of course, this isn't a denigration. This quarterback group might be the best quarterback group. Some say of all time in a division. I would say probably definitely within the division today. Of the 8 divisions, we're probably the strongest at QB. The next one, I'm going to go 3rd. Justin Herbert. I'm going to put him 3rd. Great up-and-coming guy, a little bit young. I'm willing to see, I want to see a little bit more from him. I think he had a lot more tools than Derek Carr. This was, to me, this one was kind of close, to be honest with you. Hey, Sandy, thanks for the likes. I appreciate that. And the flowers, we're the ops. I appreciate that as well. But ultimately, the play-in game, it was a tough one. You could say the coaching screwed it up, but, you know, I think Carr came through. And the bottom line is he won the game. I think Herbert's great. I think he's going to be a good quarterback for years to come. But I think I have Derek Carr just a little bit ahead of him. And I'm going to put them up here just a little bit ahead. And that means I'm going to put Patrick Mahomes number 1. I'm going to explain this. Okay. Let's see. So this is my ranking as far as teams. Derek Carr, good. He has been reloaded, especially we'll talk about the wide receiver position with Davante Adams. But to me, Mahomes and the Chiefs, they are the 8-time champions in the division. Mahomes has won a Super Bowl already. Carr has not. So for right now, I got to put Mahomes a little bit ahead of Carr. And Carr and Herbert are pretty even. I think Wilson's declining, but he's still going to be good. A hell of a lot better than Drew Lock. So, like I said, this division is loaded at quarterback, so it's not really a slam on any 4 of these guys. As far as the running backs go, here I basically have the primary and the backup here, if you could take a look at that. So I'm going to go the opposite way this time. I'm going to go number 1, and I'm going to say it's Javonte Williams and Gordon as the combination. I think they had a pretty solid running game, those 2 last year. They brought Gordon back. He was a free agent. I think they probably have the best running game in the division, to be honest with you. And I don't think it's going to change much. We'll talk about the offensive line in just a second. We'll get to that. My number 2, and some people might say I'm going to be a homer about this, but you know what? I'm putting the Raiders here, and here's why. I'm hoping that Josh Jacobs is healthy at least for half of the year. I like Zeus here. Zamir White is his backup, a between the tackles guy. I absolutely love this draft pick. And there's not a lot of learning curve as far as running backs go, you know, as far as rookies. So I honestly think the Raiders probably will have this, at least the second best running game in the division. So that gives us 2 more. Some people would say the Chargers should be 2nd or even 1st. I'm going to put them 3rd. I think they missed out on Zamir White, the guy they wanted all along. We jumped up and grabbed them. That was well done by our front office staff there during the draft. But they did get Isaiah Spiller between the tackle running back. Austin Eckler is an absolute stud. But honestly, the Chargers are more in the passing game. I don't think they're as good as the Denver or the Raiders running the ball. Cross your fingers on Jacobs. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. So that means I put the Chiefs 4th. They don't run the ball a whole lot. I could see them running the ball more this year. I'll get to the offensive line in a minute. The offensive line has improved in the last couple of years since they got destroyed in that Super Bowl with Tampa. They really rebuilt it, did a pretty good job. We'll get to that in a minute. There's reports that Clyde Edwards-Helaire has felt the best he has. I think they'll take a step up. They're going to improve their running game. but I still don't think it's as good as these other three teams. They got Ronald Jones in free agency from Tampa. Leonard Fournette took his job basically. I believe he was a first round, second round pick in Tampa a long time ago. Didn't make it there. He's okay. He kind of bounced back. Had a lot of struggles earlier on in his career. Bounced back. Not really scared. Not a big threat. CH is a good balance. But they did lose Tyreek Hill. We're going to get to that right now. As far as the wide receiver core and what they did, I got the Raiders first in receiving. Obviously, Hunter Renfrow is a Pro Bowler. Davante Adams, arguably the best wide receiver in the game. I think Demarcus Robinson coming over from the Chiefs is going to be a nice fourth option. Of course, they have Darren Waller. I think overall, I'm enjoying this. Of course, I just wanted to go over the starters and go over every position. So I have the Raiders at number 1. So who do I have at number 2? I have the Chargers at number 2. They re-signed Mike Williams, who's in free agency. Keenan Allen's, you could say he's more on the backside of his career, but still effective. I put Jalen Guyton here. I think he's going to be the number 3 guy overall. And of course, like I said, the Chargers are pass first. Even with Austin Eckler, I believe Austin Eckler does more damage outside the tackles and catching the ball and going for scores. So they're more pass first, and I think they're probably the second most formidable, especially with Tyreek Hill being gone from the Chiefs. So now, who do I have as third? Might surprise you a little bit. I'm going with the Denver Broncos here. This is a scrappy young little group of wide receivers. They have Sutton, they have Patrick, who are big kind of wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy had the drops. I know a lot of people wanted him over Ruggs in the draft. And they also got a guy named KJ Hamler. Could be a breakout candidate this year, especially with Russell Wilson throwing the ball. I think their issues in the passing game definitely were in the receiving core, is more on the quarterback throwing the ball. I have them third. And then last, I got to go with the Chiefs. And I'm not real impressed with Juju Smith-Schuster. Marquez Valdes-Scantling will be decent, but I still don't think they've completely filled the hole that Tyreek Hill has. And Mecole Hardman's there as well. I know they drafted Sky Moore. Josh, they still have like 50-year-old Josh Gordon. He hasn't been truly relevant in a few years, so I'm not worried about him. Sky Moore could do some damage too, but again, this is a loaded division. Not a lot. I think more on the defense. Once we get to the defensive side, you'll see more gaps. These are pretty close, I think, but I do think the Raiders are head and shoulders above with the wide receiving core. Obviously, they have arguably the best wide receiver in the game, and Davante Adams now. As far as the tight ends, let's go to the tight ends. Scroll this so you can see. Scroll this as far as tight ends. I'm still gonna have to give it up for Kansas City. Obviously, Travis Kelce has been the best for a few years now. Some say he might be slowing down. He might be. Hey, Misty, how you doing? But still, he is still the best until he's not, and that's how I feel about it. And yeah, really, realistically, it's not an argument. Of course, I'm going to put Darren Waller second, but he's not that far behind, especially if he can keep himself healthy. He had that wacky injury with Dallas. Some people say he kind of sat out for a while because he was upset. Could they throw a little bit more money his way? That might happen. We talked about that in a previous live stream. But still, as far as talent goes, Waller's right behind him. The next one's going to might be a little controversial, but I don't think so. It's Denver here at number 3. I call him Big O. I'm going to try to pronounce his name here. Albert Okwuegbunam. Pretty solid guy. I mean, even PFF has him ranked over 90 in man-to-man receiving. So, and I've seen him before. They didn't really lose much with Noah Fant. And you got Russell Wilson. He could be a nice little sleeper if you play fantasy football and you're willing to pick rivals. You know, most of you are in here are probably Raider fans, of course. But don't necessarily sleep on Gerald Everett here with the Chargers. I'm going to put them 4th. Serviceable guy, not terrible. Had a pretty good season a couple years back with the Rams. I wouldn't expect a whole lot. I think he's probably the fourth option at best, but very serviceable, and he could probably move the chains for you. All right, here we go. This is where I'm going to get some dislikes. So get your thumbs down button ready. We're going to be talking about the offensive line, and I got to get real. I got to get real about this, guys. I don't like it, but I got to be real here. I'm going to put the Chiefs at number 1. You know, a couple seasons back, after they got their asses handed to them by Tampa, those tackles looked terrible. I know they were injured. They got rid of them. They went and got Orlando Brown. They traded for him. Andrew Wiley has been very serviceable and has done very well against Max Crosby. So, and then they went and drafted Creed Humphrey. Thuney they got in free agency. Trey Smith was a lower round draft pick who's worked out pretty well. I think top to bottom, they're the best offensive line. And really, that kind of spells trouble for us and the other teams in the division. That gives Mahomes more time to do his thing. Number 2, I got to go with the Chargers here. They spent a lot of money in draft capital here. Corey Linsley, they got free agent from Green Bay. Rashawn Slater, first round pick. Been as advertised. They went and got Zion Johnson this year. Storm Norton. Lucas Niang, he replaced between him and Lucas Niang, or kind of back and forth with that. Did serviceable. I don't think they're as good as the Chiefs, but I would say they're the second best offensive line. So that leaves 3 and 4. I'm going to go with the Raiders third, and this is primarily why I think Colton Miller is the best offensive lineman in the division. If you look at all these, even better than Garrett Bowles, who's a pretty good left tackle. A lot of stuff up in the air here. I know the Broncos kind of stepped up last season. The year before, they looked like trash. A lot of these guys. Cushenberry looked terrible in his rookie year. He bounced back. Dalton Reisner didn't look that good. Glasgow, not that good at all. They got Turner in free agency. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be good enough. Plus, with that running game, I think that'll help Denver. But I would say they're the worst offensive line. I'm optimistic with Alex Leatherwood securing that right tackle spot. I've been saying it all along. The guards, who knows? I think Dylan Parham as a rookie is going to be the center. And I know a lot of people like James. I'm not so sure about James. That does it as far as our offensive side. Let's get to the defensive side of the ball. And of course,
when you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.